It's Project T4 day again, and today it's diesel heater day. It's a Triclix one. I'll put a link below in the description. Now the heaters on the advert were available in either a red top or carbon fibre look, so as the van's mainly black, you went for the carbon fibre look. You actually get the better fuel hose and the connections. Other than that, we've got the usual instructions: fitting plate, exhaust, heater pipes, air filter pipes, all the usual gubbins, and a big bag of connections and stuff from one of those. So what I'm going to do today is, because there's only thin insulation under here, so we're quite close to the floor of the van, I'm going to use this instead of a turret plate to save money, because basically that heater costs about 75-80 quid, and another 25 quid for a turret plate if it wasn't necessary. Seems a bit of a unnecessary expense, obviously. So I'm going to fit it with this. I've already cut the hole big enough for that, and then to prevent any exhaust gas getting in, which is basic reason for the turret plate, I'm going to use sealant all around it, and rather than just cut little holes where the holes are, I've cut a hole big enough to cover all of that, as you'll see, and I'm going to go around it with sealant and make sure it's all sealed up nicely. So today we won't be throwing that away, we're going to use it. First thing I've done is fit the plate to the bottom, giving them all a really good tight. I've gone diagonally across so they're tightened evenly, and now I'm going to put the hoses on. So that one's gone on okay. Now the first problem I found with this kit is these aren't big enough to go on that. They're big enough for that, because obviously that's a thin piece of metal, but they're not big enough to go around the thicker air inlet hose. So I have got one I found, I might be able to manage with. No, that's the one I loosened. That's as far as loose as it goes. It's actually open and it still won't go over it. So I've got one, so I can do this end. I'll have to try and find another one for the other end. And they're on and ready to go. And I've gone around the edge of all of that with the CT1 adhesive, and they've got a little bit around the edge as well. It looks a bit tatty because I've been working it into the gaps with my finger. And I'm going to put the turret plate, not the turret plate, the flat plate down on there now, and then screw it down. And that's screwed down now in place. Now I'm going to play with this fuel tank. That fuel tank was a little bit too high. Luckily I've got this one, which is a little bit shorter. It also has a built-in nozzle at the bottom, which is handy. So I have drilled a little hole over there, and I'm just heating up the rubber and putting the connections on. I left the sealant overnight to dry, and I've bought myself a few items to make a better job of it. I've got some better Jubilee clips, and I've bought one of these because I bought a couple. I couldn't find my own one that I've already got. That screws those into these holes instead of the screws I put there for now to hold it in place. And as you can see, they've got a drill thread on the end. It's all set up so I can give it a test. Everything's connected underneath properly. We have diesel in the tank, and the unit's all connected up. The controller's connected. The battery's just there with decent connections. So if anybody wants to fit their own, it's pretty clear, as it's all clearly laid out, exactly how everything goes, and I'll show you underneath in a moment. It does take a few goes usually for the diesel to go all the way through to the heater and actually start working. So I'm going to press the on button now. I'll try again. Okay, one short press on that one. Some controllers you have to press them until it says they're working. Some controllers you press it once quick and it starts working. So that'll start powering up. It'll start pumping the diesel through. And I'm going to show you underneath. So where the tank is, I drilled a hole underneath. So I'll show you. So that's the hole underneath. I'm going to put a bit of sealant around that just to keep it in place. And I've connected it straight to the fuel filter. Save messing about. The fuel filter goes to the pump, which is supposed to angle up slightly like I have there. Then the pipe carries on forward to where the diesel heater is. As you can see, that's all pretty straightforward and easy to do. So that's underneath where the diesel heater is. And you can see this side with the silver pipe's the exhaust, the black pipe's the air inlet, and that pipe is where the fuel pipes come through, and it's connected up there. The air filter I've connected away from the exhaust, and because there was nothing really in that place to connect it to, I have used some cable ties and put a cable tie on the end there as well, just to make sure if it ever falls off it won't bounce away and I can reattach it. Just switch it up here, screw to the cell. That's all in place. So you can see it's quite a simple fitting underneath. The main thing is drill a big hole and get those pipes fitted before you lower it all in place. And it's still trying at the moment, so we'll come back shortly. That is now glowing nice and warm. It's warmed up inside, even though the back door's still open. And yeah, I didn't have to press it again, so it might be a newer version where it self-primes. It just keeps going until it's working, which is interesting and a lot easier, to be fair. Once I've put the bed in place, the side bed as we were going for, I'll be able to attach that, pop these on them, same with that, and have a little hole in the side here where the bed will come out, but that'll be a later part of the build. At the moment it's very handy being able to have the inside of the van warm when it's a cold day. So I do recommend putting a diesel heater in quite early in your build. It's a lot easier to get at everything, honestly. Actually up to 12 degrees now. Yep, so very happy with that. I'll just have a quick look outside. It's not overly noisy, it's not too bad. Now on the exhaust pipe where I fitted it, because it didn't really tighten up, I had to put a slit in the ends of the exhaust pipe to fit it to the exhaust and to the unit, then put the better Jubilee clips on so it wouldn't fall off. Might be worth putting a bit of exhaust putty on there. I didn't have any with me today. I'm going to see how it goes, and if it looks like it needs it, I'll put some on it. But yeah, it's a nice simple diesel heater install. I just made a little wooden frame for it for now. I'll build it into the frame of the bed when I put it in there. So as you can see, that's all working very well now. It's very clear where everything goes, so don't be afraid to fit one yourself. I've just pressed the off button, and it's important to let it run throughout the cooling cycle, otherwise it can cause damage to the unit as it's air cooled, not water cooled. You can't just turn it off. Never just disconnect it from the battery. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please give us a thumbs up if you did, and subscribe for more of the T4 build coming up. We're also refurbishing a narrowboat if you're into that sort of thing, so give those videos a watch as well, because I did put a heater in my diesel heater in my narrowboat as well. Thanks for watching, bye for now.